The rolling, pounding sound echoes like thunder in the steppe. The whole land is shaken by a giant waterfall that is sweeping everything forward. But every step forward is a gamble with blood. Because this is not just a migration, but the fiercest battle of life and death on the steppe. Maasai Mara, the bloody migration of zebras on the steppe. In the distance, the rivers meander like blood vessels flowing through the dry steppe. The water surface is as calm as a mirror, but underneath there are hidden deadly dangers. Where wild beauty blends with the cruelty of nature, turning the steppe into an endless arena of blood and fire. On the vast steppe, a sea of black and white stripes moves like vivid waves. Thousands of bodies rushed forward, their hooves pounding, creating thunderous sounds that echoed throughout the space. That herd of zebras is both a symbol of intense life and a testament to the fragility of the lurking death in Maasai Mara. The black and white striped zebra of the African Savannah has an appearance that is both graceful and powerful. With an average height of 1.3 to 1.5 meters, weighing up to 350 kg, they possess a sturdy body and a unique striped coat. No individual is the same, like the fingerprints of nature. This pattern not only creates a mesmerizing beauty, but also serves as a perfect camouflage, making predators dizzy in the moving sea of stripes. Thanks to their sturdy hooves, zebras can reach speeds of nearly 65 km/h and run persistently over long distances. But their true strength lies not in their legs, but in their social behavior. Zebras live in giant herds, hundreds to thousands of individuals, moving as a unified block. When threatened, the entire herd immediately changes direction, turning into a chaotic striped wall that makes it difficult for predators to choose a target. Zebras are also a species rich in survival instincts. Their ears constantly rotate to catch signals. Their eyes placed on both sides of their heads help them observe almost 360 degrees, detecting predators from a long distance. To find new land, the zebra herd is forced to face the harshest challenge on the journey, having to plunge into the turbulent water where death awaits in the darkness. But under the murky water, a giant black shadow moves slightly. Cold yellow eyes float on the water, motionless like two smoldering fires in the darkness. Jagged teeth hide behind the foam, waiting for the moment of explosion. And then, the battle of life and death breaks out. The prey struggled desperately, its legs kicking wildly, tearing up white foam. But the crocodile's frantic swings pulled it around in a deadly whirlpool, crushing its flesh and bones in an instant. The entire river surface was shaken by the frantic struggle. In an instant, the Mara River turned into a red swamp of blood, and the sound of the water splashing mixed with the screams created a terrifying death song. The Mara River still flowed, red with blood and the corpses of the unfortunate ones left behind. But the migration did not allow it to stop. The herd of zebras continued to roar towards the other bank, each body drenched, mud and blood mixed together. Each step onto the new land was a small victory against the harsh nature. Their eyes shone with resilience, because they understood that to maintain life, to preserve their species, they had to accept sacrifice. In that fierce journey of survival, the cycle of life continues in places with lush green vegetation. The female zebra is pregnant for nearly a year before giving birth. Miraculously, the foal, just minutes after birth, can stand up on its trembling legs and run after its mother. In the midst of the dangerous savannah, that ability is the only chance of survival. When the calf is born, the whole herd often forms a protective circle, with the adults standing outside to shield it, ready to face predators. The next dawn, the fiery red sun rises from the horizon again, casting a fiery light over the Maasai Mara Savannah. After a tiring night, the zebra herd continues its journey, each step imprinted on the grass still covered with morning dew. But the peace is just a thin veil. In the shade of the low bushes, bright yellow eyes are silently watching every movement. There was no longer a rushing stream, but there was another danger ahead of them. The hunters were silent, patiently waiting for the moment when their prey was vulnerable. The atmosphere was thick with tension. Suddenly, the lion rushed out. All around, the zebra herd was running in chaos. The black and white striped figures pass by in panic, leaving behind a cruel scene. The strong ones arrogantly standing on the corpses of their prey, and lives taken away in the blink of an eye. The nightmare passed. The grassland was once again immersed in a brilliant red and gold light. as if blood and tears had never been shed. The zebra herd continued their journey, each step leaving footprints on the vast grassland. Although many individuals had fallen in the river of death or under the claws of predators, the rhythm of life of the herd never stopped. The sun had gradually set towards the horizon. The red light covered the grassland covered in dust and blood. The roar subsided, leaving only a heavy silence. On the ground, the corpses of the unfortunate lay motionless, becoming the remnants of a life and death battle. But the cycle of life here never ended. From the high above, giant black shadows began to hover. The heavy flapping of wings echoed down, signaling the appearance of the most terrifying corpse scavengers on the steppe, the vultures. From above, dozens of giant black shadows suddenly swooped down, landing heavily on the ground covered in dust and blood. Vultures are the corpse-scavenging machines of the steppe. They have a hideous appearance but hide perfect evolution. With a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters, they glide for hours in the sky with barely a flap of their wings. Their sharp eyes are enough to detect corpses from dozens of kilometers away. The featherless head, the strong and sharp curved beak, is a specialized weapon to tear the flesh, dig out the bones. The vulture's stomach contains extremely strong acid, can digest even deadly pathogens, turning them into a natural barrier to prevent the spread of disease. They do not hunt, but are masters of patience. As soon as the predator leaves, the vulture immediately swoops down, turning the giant carcass into a bare white skeleton in just a few hours. In the blink of an eye, the giant prey is turned into a bare white skeleton. Its majestic beauty is now just a remnant, and the cold-blooded scavenger vultures continue to complete their cruel but necessary work in the cycle of survival. The sunlight shines again on the grassland, covering the vast sea of grass with a red glow. A new day begins, but the peace is just a fragile shell, behind which the cycle of survival is ready to explode. From the distant horizon, the earth suddenly shook with a heavy rumble. A huge cloud of dust rose, obscuring the bright sunlight. And then, heavy shadows gradually appeared, a herd of wildebeest. Hundreds of thousands of individuals follow each other, forming a rolling waterfall of life that stretches to the horizon. The sound of hooves echoes, mixed with hoarse roars, turning the entire steppe into a boiling arena. With a fierce appearance, a large, flat head, sharp curved horns, a muscular body covered in dark brown fur, the wildebeest has a wild and challenging look. They are not as agile as Thompson's gazelles, nor as flexible as zebras, but they are persistent and fearsomely stubborn. Every year, their migration stretches hundreds of kilometers, crossing dry, burning grasslands, dusty deserts, and finally the bloodthirsty Mara River. It is an irresistible instinct, leaving death to seek life. As the herd of antelopes moves on, a speedy hunter silently locks eyes on its prey. In the distance, in the shade of the short grass, a slender and powerful figure was lowering its body. Its golden eyes locked on the herd of wildebeest calves. It was the cheetah, the fastest predator on the planet. Its muscular body tensed, its long tail gently sweeping the ground to maintain its balance. Not a sound, not a breath, only the deathly silence before the explosion. Then suddenly, it rushed away. A thunderous pounce, its claws dug deep into the prey's body, knocking it to the ground. The chase ended in an instant. The sound of its hooves faded, the dust settled, leaving only the image of the cheetah proudly sitting on the prey's corpse. The herd of wildebeest continued to flee. On this fierce steppe, there was no room for weakness. Every tragic death of a young one fed the predator, and the cycle of survival continued endlessly. Far from the bloody hunt, in the silence of the green grasslands, another cycle of life continues silently. The females carry within them new life, preparing for the birth of the next generation. Because in Maasai Mara, death only paves the way for life, and the reproductive instinct is the immortal thread that binds the wildebeest herd through countless generations. Every year, when the rainy season begins to spread a carpet of green grass on the Savannah, it is also the time when the wildebeest herd enters the breeding season. After about 8 months of pregnancy, the female will give birth right in the middle of the vast grasslands, with no shelter. The miracle is that the calves, just a few minutes after birth, can stagger to their feet and then limp after their mothers. In a world full of predators, that ability is the ticket to survival. The herd often protects the young individuals by gathering in tight circles, the adults outside to shield, their curved horns ready to fight back if the enemy is too reckless. Although many young individuals still fall, the remaining ones will grow up, join the giant waterfall of life, continue the endless migration journey. In the cycle of life and death, reproduction is rebirth, proving that, even if blood is spilled on the grasslands, life never stops flowing. The sun gradually sets below the horizon, dyeing the entire Maasai Mara grasslands in a fiery red light. Here, blood has been spilled, the screams have subsided, but the battle for survival has never stopped. The death of one creature becomes life for another. Every step forward in the migration can be exchanged for blood, but it is also that sacrifice that maintains the balance of the entire vast ecosystem. Will you support the predator to maintain the natural balance, or pity the weak prey? Leave a comment below the video. And don't forget to ring the bell. Subscribe to not miss the next wildlife survival series.